Hello and welcome to the Build with Bear workshop. My name is Pat Baer. First and foremost, Harold, thank you for hosting the stream. I appreciate it. And to everybody who's here in the chat, I'm throwing the Bear Cave emote in there. If you are a subscriber, throw that Bear Cave emote in there. Let people know. I also put the Bear Lego emote in there as well. But yeah, hello and welcome. I'm doing an original piece today. Lashbrook, hello. Thanks for being here in the chat. If you've been watching my YouTube videos, you know that I have two new kits that arrived. Road, hello. Oh, hi to you. I have two new kits that arrived, but I will not be working on those yet because we have to finish our first ever original project here in the stream, and that is a wrestling belt. You can see the foam version of it. I like that when I lift it up, it messes with my webcam, and it's like, what's going on? But yeah, I have a belt here, the start of the belt, which is just the foam core middle layer of it. Asmo, hello. Yes, so we're waiting for a few more people to join us in chat before we get into the building, but I thought I would say hello. Reminder, if you're a current subscriber, got to make sure that you have to renew manually. Just a reminder. While we wait for a few more folks to join us, working on this belt. Hello, Smash Mouth Johnny, good to have you there. Brown Lantern, hello and welcome. Yeah, so we're doing an original piece. This is a wrestling belt. I am making for League of Heels, which is the comedic-ish, mostly comedic, video game themed wrestling league that I help organize and run with Aaron Trites. Yeah, I'm working on a belt for PAX Unplugged. We're doing a tournament to, we're calling it the King of Cardboard tournament, right? And we're going to crown the King of Cardboard champion. I'm calling it that. But I'm going to make it so that if the winner does not enjoy being referred to as a king, they have other options. So one of the cool features of the belt is we're going to make use of some Velcro to create a placard that will say King, Queen, Champion of Cardboard. So it'll say on the cardboard, you can just be able to spot King of Cardboard, Queen of Cardboard, Champion of Cardboard, which I thought was nice to have. Now, I could just say Champion of Cardboard and leave it at that, right? This belt signifies the Champion of Cardboard. I am going to keep it King only for one reason, and that's because King of the Ring is a thing. The King of the Ring tournament is a time-honored WWE tradition that they forget about for many years and only bring back when they want to push someone and someone goes, well, we could bring back King of the Ring, and then they do. But, it's cool. So King of Cardboard felt right. So we're going to go with that, but we're going to give it options for our champion. Before we go into the overhead and actually start building, I do also want to say that today we probably get to the point. I think we're going to do most of the build today. We cut this out, and we'll get to most of the build today with it. I'm going to be using this. This is a brand new, never been used before, glue gun. I bought a glue gun off Amazon with some of the money I have made through Patreon and Twitch and YouTube. I went ahead and I bought a hot glue gun. So thank you for everybody that has given money in any capacity. Part of your money went to this. I'm a little nervous about using hot glue. I have a first aid kit standing by. I think it'll be all right, but if the stream ends early, it might be because of that. Road says glue guns are rad until it's like, oh god, my skin is dying. Yeah, so I'm going to be careful. I will have a scrap piece of cardboard. We're just going to put glue on just so that I can like fucking remember how it works, how a glue gun works. So I'll know to fucking turn that back in and do it right. But I'm a little nervous about it, but I think we'll be okay. I can't believe I just realized WWE has such a good deep women's division. They could totally do a Queen of their own tournament. Oh, Baller Time in the Bear Cave. Got a glue gun, damn. Yep, I do. Um, Asmo, they've been able to do Queen of the Ring for a while. The fact that they've done a Rumble, a Queen of the Ring makes total sense. I mean, they've done tournaments, but doing that kind of tournament, calling it that, yeah, long overdue. All right, let's go to the overhead. We got some people here watching in chat. I'm ready to go. Folks that are watching later on YouTube, also hello. Sometimes I don't say that, and I want to. There are folks that can't watch it live, that watch either the VOD here on Twitch or they watch the YouTube one. Waffle Soup, hello and welcome. Happy to have you here. Waffle Soup, besides being here on the stream right now, also, Waffle Soup and I trade back gifts in Pokemon Go. We're still doing it, which is very fun. So, this is what the belt looks like. I'm going to post it. Now, one thing I did off stream, I did two things off stream. One, I scored, I didn't score, but I drew out what I'm going to be cutting out today of our cardboard. I did that. And I also cut these pieces of the belt because I made the decision. Oh man, that cardboard piece really just threw off. Let's try to do that. There we go. I made a decision, which is this is how long the belt is going to be. Let's see if I can. I can't really. The overhead doesn't really. It's not that long, but it's. Yeah, you have great Poke gift locations for sure. Waffle Stump, I hope I have not given you that there's a location near me, and whoever named the Pokestop was being a wonderful jerk because they named it after the cigar store Indian that's outside this smoke shop. It is exactly what you think it is, and it sucks. And I love that they were like racist cigar store Indian is what they decided to include, and I really appreciate that. That's one of my favorite Pokestop things to send out when I send out Poke Gifts. I have to configure the video here so that I'm going to try to fix the saturation problem here we have here, and the focus issue we'll have should be better now. Okay, we did that. That should be good. Great. Okay, great. I try to have good Pokestops. I feel bad because there's a Pokestop on my route to work that I stopped by, and it used to be a 9/11 memorial, but new owners painted over that memorial. It was a mural, but it says memorial, but it was a mural, and they painted over it, and now it's just a building, and it's still a very strange Pokestop. I assume it was from the game that they had before Pokemon Go. Where they let just about anything become a Pokestop. Anyway, I cut off these pieces and attached them with gaff tape. As you can see here, there's just gaff tape on this, and there's gaff tape here. And that is to induce a bend in our belt. The idea is, okay, that's actually a pretty good way of seeing how big the belt is. You can see it like this. This is how big our belt is going to be. It's not that long, but I also need to be able to move this around without it folding in on itself. So we did this to allow for a lot of flexibility. And what we'll do is the top two layers won't have any cuts in them, but the bottom two layers will be scored and then taped so that they allow for a lot of movement. And I haven't decided yet, but I might actually cut through the one that's attached to this. I might cut all the way through. I don't think I will, though. But because I want to have some bend. We're going to see how it feels. But right now, we're going to put this aside, and we're going to cut out some cardboard. We're going to use our X-Acto knife, and we're going to cut cardboard. And as you can see, I wrote myself a handy-dandy guide here that was just like, all right, what am I doing? I'm cutting this out, and I'm going to glue this piece to the bottom. I made the choice there just because I think this looks a little nicer. Now, this is going to be the back of our belt, the bottom of our belt, which is also just like, yeah, the back side of the belt. It's a side you don't see that much, but even if you're holding it up, you might see the back. So even though there is this piece of tape here, I still think this is a better side to be on the back. So I'm going to cut this side here. And it's just nice and easy. I'm just going to make some cuts in our cardboard. This is also the back, so it's not as nice of a piece of cardboard as the front. I'll show you the front. The front side is this nice packing box, this heavy-duty packing box. It's thinner than the back pieces, which is good, but ends up being a nicer piece of cardboard. So this will just be, just going to cut through, just cutting through some layers. I'm doing one nice easy cut, and then I will do one heavier cut. Nice and easy. And then once I'm done gluing everything together, that's when I will do my cuts that are to kind of even it out a little bit, to kind of shape it a little bit. And then I have not decided if I am going to do the entire outline of each piece in a thin piece of cardboard glued to it, or if I'm going to do gaff tape. And I think I might do gaff tape around it, because I think that'll look cool and mix up the color a little bit, so it's not pure cardboard. But I haven't decided yet. I'm going to kind of put a piece on or layer a piece on and see how it looks. But yeah, this is just simple. I haven't worked on cardboard in a very long time, but I did plenty of paper craft and cardboard work in the past. Learned it in high school. I was looking for examples of it. Unfortunately, I can't find any photos. I asked my mom, she's looking, so hopefully in a future stream I'll be able to post some photos or put it on my Discord. I don't know. But I hope that at some point I can show you what I worked on in the past. When we decided we were going to do, actually do PAX Unplugged this year, because last year we were going to do it, but then PAX Australia happened and we couldn't really do both. When that decision came out, I immediately thought about making a belt for it. One of my goals for this year was to make it more than just the one belt that we have. Because right now we have two belts, because we just debuted the green belt, which Felix Kramer is the current green belt champion, the Jeff Green belt. We have that, and then we have our main title, our main League of Heels championship belt. So we have those two belts, and I was like, we should have more belts. It just felt like we needed more belts, and now we do. And this will be our third belt. And there are no set rules in how to defend those belts, or if you even need to, because it's more fun to not have those rules and just say whatever. So, I don't know, at some point Felix will have to defend the green belt. And at some point, you know, this belt will have to get defended by whoever wins it. 24/7 Internet Hardcore title. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, Waffle Soup at PAX West. We did a Quiplash, a custom Quiplash 2, where all the questions were League of Heels related, and Felix Kramer won that, and we debuted a new belt, which I hadn't said what it was until the show. It is the Jeff Green belt, and it is, if you're thinking, Pat, is the Jeff Green belt just a green level karate belt that you just bought on Amazon and then gave to Felix? You're right, that's what it is. It's just a green wrestling, it's just a green karate belt. It's the Jeff Green belt. Yeah, Cool Jammer, the Internet Hardcore title. We had thought about doing a title you could only defend on the internet, which is silly. Oh, Road, I missed this. Like 5 years ago, I made a few JRPG swords from cardboard and duct tape. It was really fun, and now they're all missing or destroyed. I'm sorry to hear that. There is a... I don't know. I don't remember. I think he did it for Tested. But Adam Savage has some videos online that are awesome, that are wooden swords, like one-day builds of swords. I think it's a one-day build. And you use that metallic tape that you often tape seams for plumbing or various other things. And there's a tape that you can use that you can really rough and scour that looks like metal. And, I mean, cosplayers have known this for years, and all their builders. But there's a one-day video out there somewhere that I believe is a Tested video that is rad. All right, so now I'm just going to slowly cut all the way through. I did my first cut. Now I'm just doing my second cut and slowly cutting all the way through until I cut down to the bottom, taking it nice and easy. All League Heels on the internet though. Yes, Cool Jammer. That's why it's a that's why it is. That's the joke. That we don't do house shows. The idea is that you only have to you only need to defend it when we have a show that's online. To me, is pretty funny because it does lead to someone saying, "Wait, isn't that every League of Heels show?" Our first two shows are only the Twitch archive, so there is stuff missed before we got Eric involved. Waffle Soup to subscribe. Thank you very much. With a tier 1 sub. Waffle Soup, that's so nice. Thank you very much. A reminder, folks, if you have Twitch Prime, if you have Amazon Prime, you should get Twitch Prime. It gives you a free token a month, and then when your subscription auto renews next, you'll lose out. But for now, I have no ads till December. Once December hits and my Amazon Prime auto renews, then I lose out on not being able to avoid ads. So I don't run ads on this channel because I am an affiliate, not a partner. If I was ever a partner, I would 100% run ads because I'm a businessman. I'm not a good businessman. Don't get me wrong. I'm not great at business, but I'm okay at business. It's a good countermeasure to Aaron for League of Heels, particularly with League of Heels. It's a good counterbalance because I'm a pretty good business person. I'm not the best, but pretty good. And Aaron is a very good business person, but also very much remembers his punk rock roots, his pop punk roots. And so Aaron wants to do like cool things, like a poster that's too goddamn big and stuff like that. Aaron makes decisions like that. I make decisions of like, we should sell this shirt. And Aaron makes decisions, we should only sell this shirt at one show. Those are the kind of things. I'm not a businessman, I'm a businessman. Just finished HQ, lost on the last question. Harold, I'm sorry to hear that, buddy. Better luck next time. I'm glad I know someone that's still playing HQ. I'm sure I know plenty of people that are still playing. But I feel like it's not, I don't see like, it used to be on Sundays, two of the interns at our theater I would see them play. It's very funny. It feels like it fell out of the zeitgeist at UCB right around the same time that one of the people that subbed in to host, Casey, started doing it. Casey Jost, who is a UCB performer. It felt like right when he started was when people were like kind of out of it, which is very funny. Just at UCB, I don't know about other places. Just at my coworkers seem to kind of run out of interest in it. All right, so we'll cut that there. We're gonna jump over here. Just cutting, just doing deep cuts. It was a Friends-themed game. Huh, okay. Going after old millennials, huh? All right. People that watched their Fox affiliate at 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. or 5 p.m. I don't know, whenever your news is over. And they go to like Seinfeld, Simpsons, and Friends reruns. Although I guess now probably because I don't watch TV. I have a TV. I don't have cable. I don't watch a lot of television. I watch other things. I watch some TV after it's aired in collections in a binge format. So as far as I know, there's probably like I bet Big Bang Theory is syndicated, and that's what a lot of people who don't have good internet or consistent internet watch. It does feel like HQ got really heavily into themed games and sponsored games. I mean, sponsored games, you gotta. As a businessman, I can tell you, you gotta fucking pay the bills. Sponsored content pays the bills. I mean, if a company wanted me to build their kits, like sent me kits specifically for me to build, I would build the fuck out of those kits, and I would say nice goddamn things about that kit. Uh, I wouldn't steer you wrong, folks. I'm not that greedy, but um, I was pleased to be able to spend some time last week uh, helping out with Extra Life by building a model kit with Dan. And I've thought about doing my own stream, and I would, reach out and try to get sponsored and have someone send me kits, and I would say very nice things about whoever did that. You would totally kill it on a Big Bang themed game, Big Bang Theory themed game. Yeah, I would not. I have seen a couple episodes of it, but not enough to, not enough to nail it. But yeah, I bet Friends that you still can find on TBS or whatever, but I wonder what shows. I mean, I remember when I only got a couple cable channels and didn't have great internet, so I didn't watch a lot of streaming content. Also, there wasn't a lot of streaming content at this time that I'm telling this. I watched a lot of like a Mike O'Malley show that I don't remember the name of, but it was syndicated on TBS, and TBS came in well. So, okay, so now we're just doing cuts of the spots that are not popped all the way through. Oh, I didn't even do here. I did not cut all the way through. That's good. You can just always flip it over to see where you're messing up. So I need to really cut here. But I don't want to fuck anything up. So I'm going to still take my time with it. Just do some nice deep cuts. Any edge that's weird can always be fixed later by shaving all of it down. All right, almost done here. Great. One piece is done. I'm going to save this for scrap in case I need it because it's the same width as the other pieces or as this layer. And then I also need cardboard for my placard. Push this all up there. I'm going to dust bust the floor when I'm done with this. Yes, dear. Yeah. Not the Michael Mello show. I meant Yes, Dear. Yes. I watched quite a bit of Yes, Dear on TBS in the early 2000s to mid 2000s. My mom has The Office on 24/7, which I really don't care for. Oh, yeah. I'm sure The Office is syndicated everywhere. That show definitely ran long enough for that. Yeah, and Two and a Half Men. Big Bang Theory, Two and a Half Men. Yep, Brown Lantern, you're not wrong. Those are both definitely parent shows. So we got here is we've got one layer of our bottom here. And then we're going to do another layer of that. And you'll see there will be this tape mark here on the back, which I'm fine with. It kind of gives it a little bit of character. But this is going to get glued to that. We're going to cut one more bottom piece out, and then we're going to do some glue so that they can kind of live together. And then we will cut the other two out and then glue that. So that way we get a little bit of everything. And then what we'll do here is we will put this here. And then we're just going to score this like that. And we'll put this here. Line it up. And score it like that. So I'm not cutting all the way through the cardboard. I'm just cutting partially through the cardboard to allow for it to bend a little easier when the time comes. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. We could also cut through this layer just like we cut through this and just use tape. I don't know if we're going to need to do that or not. So I'm not going to do that until I know for sure that that's the best plan. Yeah. There we go. So we're going to do that. Yeah, I don't know if we need tape or not for this to keep it together. We probably do, so I can put some tape on this here. But yeah, because I can always cut through the tape if I really need to cut all the way through. I'm always down for some Friends or Seinfeld on TBS. Yeah. Yeah, it's been a while, but go for that. All right, so we're just going to do this. We're going to do this. That, and then... Yeah, why not? Why not actually... This inside layer, why not we just cut it all the way through? We'll just go like this. Yeah. That. Yeah, I like that. I like that idea. So we're just going to... On this one, we're going to cut it all the way through. On the other one, we'll just score one side. But in this one, we are going to go all the way through. And we're going to tape it both ways. I tended towards Law and Order, Bones, and Castle reruns on Turner channels. I'm not ashamed of my love for Law and Order. Asmo, Law and Order, it lasted for a very, very long time. And so I'm not going to say anything negative about that show. I mean, it has its legacy. You know, you can't talk shit about it. Hello, the Hollow. Oh, Cool Jammer. I'm sure the honest to God, the only episode of Friends that I bet holds up is the one where the three of them that are poor are like, hey, we're fucking poor. We can't keep doing this. And then eventually, I think it's that Ross and Joey and Monica want to go to like nice places, and Phoebe and Joey and or Chandler or whatever. Like three of them have money, and three of them don't. But by the end of it, Monica loses her job, and so they learn a valuable lesson because they were being all like, "Well, why can't we do those things?" And you're like, "Because we can't afford it." They were being real jerks about it. All right, great. We'll just do that. Put a little tape on there. Allow some flexibility here. Won't be in the way. My mom still watches Friends. I can report it does not hold up. Thank you very much for that report, Smash Mouth. Johnny, that's great to know. All right, so we got one piece of our belt done. We're going to do the other bottom piece here. This is another piece that's glued to the bottom. Put this over there. And this one, we're only going to score one side of it. We'll keep the other attached once we're done cutting. I got to put this over here. Oh, this is I labeled this gaff tape League of Heels because it's a lot of gaff tape, and I don't want someone taking it so I can point and go, hey, that says our thing. If y'all have never had to buy gaff tape, it's very expensive. That I barely use that roll, barely. But it is pricey. Gaff tape is no joke expensive. It's fantastic, but it is not inexpensive at all. All right, so we're just going to cut some more cardboard here. Yeah, we'll finish this out. We'll cut this piece out. Then we'll hot glue those two pieces together, put a little weight on it, which will be that big roll of gaff tape. And then we will move on to our other ones. And then we still have our placard to do as well. Or placards, I should say. A friend apparently had a small role on Law and Order, which I forget. It's just New York actors do. It is very much a thing New York actors do. Since SVU is the only one there anymore. You'll not find me ever saying a bad thing about Leroy Jethro Gibbs and his team. I mean, I watched a bunch of NCIS when it first came out. It was a show that my dad and I both liked, and that isn't the rarest thing in the world, but these days, sometimes it's just nice to have a thing you can share. So I remember we both liked that show. My dad was big into Jag, which NCIS is a spinoff of. Very long-running spinoff of Jag. So I know lots and lots of people as a New York person that are in an episode or more of SVU. Sometimes with lines, sometimes as the bald, creepy dude in a sex cult who is not the main killer, but is a false person that you think is a killer, but he's still a creep. He's still a creep, but he's not the killer. And then also, besides the fact that there are some of my friends have been in Law and Order, also, Robin Williams played a character based on a friend of mine in an episode of Law and Order. My friend Charlie, who created UCBW, the Comedy Wrestling League at a UCB that I was a part of, which is one of the reasons why I do League of Heels stuff. Charlie is also the founder of Improv Everywhere, as well as being a dear friend of mine. And there was a guru guy running a Grand Central Freeze thing that was clearly an Improv Everywhere reference. And Robin Williams played that guy, and it's very weird to think about that. We got some. Resume did not actually valuing many things highly enough to justify the money because those dollars go to hobbies I like more. I understand that, the hollow. I understand what you're saying. Dad watched a ton of Blue Bloods and whatever is on Ion. Blue Bloods is not great. Okay. Cool Jammer, I'm going to take your word for it. I've never seen Blue Bloods, and I probably never will. I commented this. A couple of friends of mine said this. We were talking the other day about this, and this is a weird thing to say, but we're at the point now where so many of our friends have been able to do cool things on the internet or television or movies that we don't feel obligated to watch all of it because there's too much to watch. It's a great problem to have. So, like, I don't know, a dude I really like and respect is on that Lethal Weapon TV show. I've never watched that. I'm never going to watch that show. I don't care about that. I'm very happy that my friend is on it. He rules. Jonathan's a rad fucking dude and is very cool. I'm not going to watch it. Sorry, Jonathan. I hope other people are watching your show so you get to keep making it. But, like, no, thank you. No, thank you. Blue Bloods, I believe, is a Tom Selleck show. Brown Lantern. Oh. All right, so I'm just doing what I just did before. Nothing new. Nothing to see here. Just making some cuts here, following the line I drew. And then we'll go back in and see where I need to cut all the way through and do that part. I don't think I did this right. Oh, I did. Okay. Now, where did I not cut through? Just about everywhere. Great. Okay. Now, when I did the foam core, I cut sections out of this to make my life easier. And I could theoretically do that as well. But yeah, now I'm just going to make some deep cuts. Cut all the way through. See where I need to cut it out again. I can read. A friend's wife was just on God Friended Me. I'm glad for her, and there's not a chance I'll ever see this performance of hers. So I will say this, Asmo. I have no idea what that is, but I think I've heard of that in passing. Like, it's not even enough to, like, be the butt of jokes. Like, yeah, I don't think I'm ever going to see that show. Even if a friend of mine was on it. Like, I resisted The Good Place. A friend of mine is on it, and also Ted Danson. And I love Ted Danson. And I still, the first couple episodes, didn't watch The Good Place. And now, I mean, it's fucking rad and awesome. And hey, here's Pat Baer recommends. Watch The fucking Good Place. It's awesome and great. And my friend Darcy rules on it. She's great. So, but yeah. I was like, CBS show. I don't think so. Oh, I do like Ted Danson. There's so much on. And then people were like, this is the best show on television. And I was like, oh, word? Okay, I'll go check it out. And they were right. It's very good. Yes. Touched by an Angel from the modern era. Yes, Darcy Carden. is fucking rad. She is great. She's great on that show. She's great in person. She's a great, wonderful person. And I'm very happy that she's on an awesome show. That's all I really want is my friends to be on things and get work and keep working. Because that's great. And that's what we're doing. But like, I mean, Rob Riggle, who was before my time at UCB but was still around at the end and is a great dude. I love Rob. When Rob ended up on a TV show, I watched it because that was the era where that was very rare that someone from the UCB community had made it and they were on a TV show and they were on a sitcom, and holy shit, that's incredible. But it was a Jay Moore sitcom and it was not good and it was not fun to watch. And I was like, well, Riggle's on it. Oh, thank God he's done other stuff. But like, yeah, that felt like I was not doing anyone any favors by watching it. But it was important to watch because our friend was on it. Riggle was the first UCB performer, outside of Amy, obviously one of the founders, to make it on SNL. His SNL era was short-lived. It was only on one season. Never really took off. But it was awesome that he had made it. You know, it was a huge fucking deal. Harold, yeah, you can find Riggle on pregame stuff, which is a great thing. I mean, he's a sports lover through and through. It reads. It's not inauthentic. Big heart on that big man, but also, yeah, love for sports, which nothing wrong with that by any means. Not saying anything about that. But yeah, very funny, great dude. The big thing that hurt Riggle was that he had auditioned and got hired. Jason Sudeikis auditioned the same year Rob Riggle got on and got hired as a writer. And then after a year of being a writer, moved on to being an actor. And all the writers knew him and loved him, and he could play an everyman, which when you're first getting on, you do a lot of like boyfriend of the weirdo or husband of the weird character or co-worker of the weird character. And so Jason kept getting those parts, which, you know, father of the bride, you know, like in a sketch that Riggle is not in at all. He's father of the bride in this like sketch that I forget who else was in it, but it was Fred Armisen, and it was the idea that was like, hey, on your wedding day, we got the band back together, and then they're like a weird experimental band. I can't remember who else is in this sketch, but Riggle's just like the dad in that, you know, like, or he's the groom in that sketch. You know, that's what you get in that era when you're just starting out. So everyone went with Sudeikis. Yeah. Well, that's because the thing is, Cool Chamber. Now, what you didn't get to see, because if you didn't know it, is like Riggle at his best. He didn't get a chance to be at his best because that often happens. You know, you don't sometimes get to see people at their best. It would be very weird. It would be very, very weird if you knew the name John Milheiser. John Milheiser was on SNL. It is okay that you do not remember who John Milheiser is because he was there very briefly. John Milheiser is fucking very, very funny. He's a great comedic actor. He's got great presence and great talent. But if the sketches that you are cast in do not make air, or the character pitches that you gave don't make update, it's real tough to stick around. It's really, really tough. Very competitive show. Every year they're just hiring new people. And it's fucking rough. All right, so we're going to do some gluing. I'm going to charged up my dust buster because I got a lot of cleaning to do after this. Rob Riggle is a million times fucking better than Frank Caliendo, who my dad loves. He used to do the same impressions every week. Yeah, I could see that getting rough. I mean, I've seen a bit of that, here and there. You pick it up. My dad watches a lot of football. My mom too. They both like football. All right, so this is the bottom. I'm going to glue this to the bottom like this. This piece is going to go on first. Going to make sure this is lined up right. Does that look right? Yeah, that looks right. Great. And now we're just going to score the other side. This side. Great. So we're just going to do that. And that just adds a bend to it. And then we will tape both sides as well, just for safety. But we won't go all the way through it. But we'll still tape it in case it comes apart, because this is our bottom layer here. We'll tape that there. Tape that there. If you're just joining, because we got a few followers pop in, hello and welcome. This is the first time ever that I'm building something original. This is now the shape, the general outline is based on the League of Heels title, our wrestle belt. But this is the first time that I'm ever done on stream a completely original design. I'm working on a wrestling belt for the League of Heels show, which is coming to a PAX Unplugged. The show will be on Sunday, December 2nd at, actually, I need to do more tape on there. I'm going to do more, just one long piece of tape, because it'll bend. Let's do one long piece. I am doing a show, we're doing a show Sunday, December 2nd, 10 a.m. It'll be streaming on twitch.tv/PAX2. And I will hopefully host it here. Sometimes I forget to do that, because a lot happens. But yeah, the goal is to always do it. All right, so we do that. Give a little tape there, a little bend to it. And this will be the inside, like that. And then this will be the outside. That's good. It's gonna be nice and thick. Ooh, though, does that not line up right? No, that lines up right. Okay. Yeah. All right, that looks good. Okay, so now I need to turn this on and heat it up. I'm going to grab a scrap piece of cardboard here that I will just put some glue on. So, chunk of cardboard here. I'm going to put the glue on this just so that I can kind of spread it out once it's ready. I believe a light will go, it'll change from, I believe the light will change color or something. But in about 3 or 4 minutes, we'll be able to put some glue on this and glue it together. And then we'll cut out the top parts and glue that together as well. Oh, yeah. Where did you get the main logo belt? Looks good and expensive. I forget it's a company. Aaron took care of it. So I don't know the exact details. I apologize. Waffles soup, but I will investigate that and let you know. We ordered it online from people that make custom belts, generally probably based on popular design. Yeah, there are websites that make it for you. I don't remember the exact website, but we just, came up with the placards, did some art for it. You can see the League of Heels logo, and the fog machine is on one, and broken glass is on the other. And as far as I know, it was expensive. Last week says, since you're building something new, I decided I would build Gundam tonight. I really meant during my vacation last week. Didn't have the time. Hey, that's the thing. Sometimes, vacations are not as, take longer than you'd think. All right. All right. And all right, we got some glue coming out. I'm going to give it another minute. but we do have some glue coming out of this. So that's good, a good sign. Basically, what we'll just do is we will put some glue on here. We will make sure that we line things up as best we can. And then we will put pressure. We will put the next layer on. We will put pressure. That pressure is actually going to be this, which as I get that there. All right. And then we'll put that aside, and then we will build some other things. And then we'll come back to it, see how it held up. Just put that there. There we go. All right, great. So it's time. Okay. Now the thing is, don't really listen to me when it comes to using hot glue. I'm no professional with it. I use mostly tape as a binding agent. I worked a lot in tape, and I worked a lot in just like wood glue or Elmer's glue. So don't take my word for it when it comes to that. I am going to say this, like any gluing project, I'm not going to worry about the edges because we're going to probably use gaff tape around there. Or we might, as I said, grab some cardboard and just kind of bend it around and glue that to that. I don't know yet. But so really what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a line of glue and make sure that I am just in the middle here. And, oh, I should make sure that I am not going to pull the cord over it. But yeah. Oops. Wow, that goes fast. Already. I gotta get another stick here. All right. Put that there. The glue went fast. And then put that there. Now I'll probably need more weight than just this. This will just be the starter. Eventually what I'll do is I will put weight on all of it to keep it down. There's already a little give there. But yeah, as you can see, that's just the start of things. And then I will gotta go and reach, so pardon me as I go get more glue, because I'm already used up one of my sticks. These are very thin glue sticks, so I'm not surprised. But I already went through already going through one of them, so. All right. Oh, we can see this is already. Just going to put some globs. Side. And then on this side, it's already kind of good adhered. So I'm not going to worry about that. All right. Let's put another layer on. All right, yeah, so we're just adhering a bunch of glue to this. And then if it pulls up on the edges, we'll do that again. Just gonna put some glue on here, and then put that on like this. And then we can turn off our glue gun because that's all we needed for that. Pretty easy. And then, yeah. This is the back of our belt. As you can see, it's going to be 5 layers. So it'll be thick. I hope this is already coming up because it hasn't properly had time to set. But, yeah. And I'm definitely going to do more layers of glue for the front because that's what care about more probably than the back, but we'll do this. I'll put another stick in, and then what I'll do is to make sure that I don't have problems, just kind of get the excess off. I remember that being a thing. And yeah, we're gonna turn this off for now because we don't need it for a while, because we have to do some more cutting. But I'm gonna put this on here, and then that's our wrestle belt. That's the bottom layers of our belt. We can start cutting out the other one. I'll say this. This will be the time now. We'll take a break at just this moment. We'll get into cutting the front part. I will take a brief time here to say hello and welcome. This is the Build with Bear Workshop. We're doing an original belt here. If you are not currently a subscriber, consider subscribing. If you're just following along, that's okay. Why not make it so your notifications, you get a message every time I go live so you know when I'm live. I stream Thursdays and Saturdays, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. My schedule is a little different. I'm not going to stream on Thanksgiving, and I'm not going to stream the night before PAX Unplugged. I will be streaming 2 nights before PAX Unplugged, that Wednesday, and I will stream the day after American Thanksgiving. So you'll still get as many hours. It's just that I'm doing a Friday and a Wednesday this month instead of 2 Thursdays, because that's just the way it worked out. If you'd like to become a subscriber, that would be rad. Be very cool. You could also become a backer on Patreon. Patreon's a great way to support me. Brown Lantern just cheered. That's very nice of you. Thank you so much for that. Cheers and bits are great. If you can't become a subscriber here on Patreon or on Twitch, you can always do that. Patreon allows me $5 as a reward. Gets you the videos early. This archive will go up early for you on YouTube. People saw the mailbag videos I made early. $10 lets you get to vote on what I do. Hello, Robot Crank. Good to see you here in chat. The $10 club gets to vote. They voted on the next kit I made, which came out of the recent mailbag, because I have an Amazon wish list. And if you buy something on that wish list, I build those before I build the stuff that I just buy. So that's a thing you can consider doing. I'm going to put a link there for the Amazon wish list. I constantly update it. If you think, hey, I'd buy that if it was there, let me know. If someone wanted to buy the pre-orders for the Overwatch Lego sets that I listed there, those are things I definitely like to buy and build, and they're going to become very expensive after January 1st. I expect those to go up in price almost immediately. And then also, I have a coffee. You can just it's like a tip jar. You can just donate that. I haven't gone gold. I haven't set up recurring payments. I haven't done coffee like you would a Patreon, because you can now send blog updates and stuff. We just dropped some frames here. I apologize for that. Wow. Shit. Okay. I'm suddenly dropping a ton of frames. I'm going to try to wait this out. Okay, I think we're better. So there's a hiccup there. I apologize for that. We dropped 325 frames. 0.3% of all frames in this hour we've been streaming, I dropped. I apologize. You shouldn't see that on the video after the fact, but that's that. And then also, yeah, the tip jar. And also, there's the Build with Bear community. Why not jump in the Build with Bear community? It's a Discord. You could hang out there. There are no white supremacists in my group. Just saying, there's some white supremacists on Discord, but not in my chat, because I don't know why they would be into what I do. I mean, I guess. Thank you, the Hollow. I believe you're apologizing for the drop frames. So yeah. All right, so we're gonna push this over here so we don't get near it. Let's talk about some. So we got this part here. This is our the next thing we're gonna cut here. Next part of our belt. Gamers with shitty politics impossible. Yeah, I know, right? So this cardboard is thinner. It's thinner, but it's nicer because it came out of a shipping box. So It looks a little nicer. Instead of just whatever random cardboard box I bought that was or that I found that was big. So this is the top, and it's gonna go like that. Yep, that's how that looks. So yeah, so I'm just gonna cut out this top. It's gonna get attached to the top. This will be the inside, obviously. That's why I wrote on it. And also because it has a logo and shit. We won't have that on the inside. We'll have that on the inside, not the outside. Because I want to contain some of the cardboard. And this other side looks pretty good. Looks like cardboard. One thing I made sure to do is, when I'm cutting this out, is you can see there's a handle right here. I made sure the handle isn't part of the belt. The handle is part of the excess. Because what would I do? Why would I do that to myself? All right, so we're just going to cut this out here. Nice and easy. Follow the line. Know that we will fix a lot of stuff with this after the fact. So we're just kind of nice cuts, nice easy cuts here. This might be a little harder. This is a denser, even though it's thinner, it's a denser cardboard. So it'll be a little harder to cut than our other cardboard, which had a lot of the inner layer of the cardboard, a lot of wiggle room. It was easy to cut. But that's good because this is the outside layer, and I want it to be more secure. Okay. And we'll just do that. As a handle, it's a GameCube belt. Look, Johnny, did I consider for a moment that? Yes. No, I did consider, what if this belt had a handle? No, I'm not going to have a handle on it. But I did think about it for a second. I mean, if we were declaring a GameCube champion, then that belt would have a handle for sure. Because that's a good gag. But now this is the cardboard champion. So the belt is made out of cardboard, which doesn't add up because our main championship isn't made out of wrestling video games. It's just a belt. Although, our main title, there's nothing that says it couldn't be defended in any game of any type, because it has been defended in various different games. So, in modes, at the very least. So there's no saying that in the future, our current champion, Dr. Tracksuit, might use it, might have to play a game that's not an N64 wrestling game. Who knows? I don't. I'm going to let Aaron deal with a lot of figuring out what PAX East show is going to be. Other than we know it's going to be a Rumble, because we're bringing the Rumble back to Boston. For those of you that know the storyline, Kate Stark, because she won her match, received 2 wishes to be granted by and so one of those wishes is that we bring back the Rumble to Boston. So we're doing it. That would be bias against Tracksuit. I mean, more things deserve the lunchbox form factor. Yes, I agree with you, the Hollow. I think a lunchbox factor is great. I did want to talk about the 2 videos that went up. I got 2 kits, one from an anonymous source. I don't know who sent the Grimgird, or Grimgard. I'm saying it wrong. I know I am. The Grimgard, which is from Iron-Blooded Orphans. Not Iron Blood Orphans, Iron-Blooded Orphans. I'm so sorry. I've said blood instead of blooded. It's Iron-Blooded Orphans. Also, no one's ever corrected me. We built 2 kits from Iron-Blooded Orphans, and no one said shit. Harold, I'm glad you got passes. I live a privileged existence, I know, but I never have to think about that shit, and it's awesome. It's so nice never having to think about that because I will be doing panels. So, the first year I did a panel for 4-4ing it at PAX East, I still bought my badges because I didn't know if I would get accepted or not. And you find out after we sold out. So I was able to sell to a friend who was out of the country and not awake when they went on sale and thus sold out years ago. This was obviously years ago. So I was able to give him my badge, or sell him my badge, I should say. So that was good because it went to someone I know and not like I wasn't going to resell it on Craigslist or something shitty like that, or sell it to a scalper or anything. But yeah, I'm glad you got past. Not gonna lie, I say Iron Blood as well. I say Transformers or Beast Wars. So Waffle Stomp Soup, sorry, Waffle Stomp, Waffle Stomp, Waffle Soup. We did one. We went to the second PAX South. We did Southern Slam. We only did it once. Now, obviously, not obviously, but we're not going to be there in 2019. But I am committed to bringing the show back there at some point. I really enjoyed San Antonio. Oh, Harold, good night. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you for hosting. Thank you for hanging out. Have a good one, Harold. Waffle Soup, I do want to go back. I can't say for certain it'll be 2020. One of the things that I have to find out is it sucks is because it's like PAX East can be very close. Like this year, PAX East is the last weekend of March. So that being like last weekend of January, last weekend of March, that's not enough time for me to like, that's just too close together, really. Harold, thank you for the cheer. I do appreciate it. Thank you very much, friend. But then the other thing is now we're doing Unplugged this year, right? So I definitely cannot do the last weekend of November / first weekend of December and then a January show. Like that's just not happening. I can't afford to do that. Maybe someday the League of Heels merch will create enough of a profit that Aaron and I will be able to travel with the money we've made at previous shows. I would love to say that's going to happen, but I don't know for sure. I don't think it isn't this one. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. But I do want to go to PAX South. I think it would be great. The Hollow asked a question I've never been asked before. I'm excited to answer this. Pat, if you ran for president in 2020, who would be your VP? So, my first thought was a very fun, smart friend of mine who's very engaging and interesting, but I don't think that she is old enough to become the president if something happened to me, so I don't know if she can be a VP because I don't think she's old enough to run for president. So I don't know what the rules are for that. I don't know if you can be under the age minimum for to be someone's vice president. But if that's possible, then I would go with Aparna Nancherla. Aparna is incredible. You look her up. She's a fantastic stand-up, very thoughtful, wonderful person. She's got a real dry humor, real weird dry humor. And we have a very fun rapport. So I think she'd be a great running mate. And she, like me, would not want to run for president or vice president. Whenever someone mentions 2020, you think of the presidential election. I understand. I get where you're coming from. And Waffle Soup says, yeah, I totally understand. I don't go to one PAX a year, and South is much smaller, which is why I enjoy it. I totally understand what you're saying, Waffle Soup. The other thing is that part of doing Unplugged, one of the reasons why it works for us is because we have just enough people we know doing it to justify going, plus we can get some friends. Like tomorrow on the League of Heels Twitter, I'm going to announce 3 of the 4 wrestlers we're booking to do the show because Philadelphia has Chikara and a lot of kaiju performers, Kaiju Big Patel, or Big Battle, perform and live in Philadelphia. So it it's easy for us to book some cool people there. And last year at Unplugged, not a lot of people I knew went, and this year more people I know are going. So I'm able to, I was able to announce um, that we have Tommy Ranges from Secret Hitler and Inhuman Conditions. We've got Tom Dyke from Cards Against Humanity, and we've got Chris Straub from the internet at large, Mr. Kayfabe himself. Brown Lantern says, East is just a drive up from Jersey for me, and I always enjoy getting to hang with Lang and other GFB listeners and the panels and stuff. Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing, right? Like, Chris is one of the only people who's performed regularly at our show who's going. It's the only PAX that Kate Stark doesn't go to, right? So, like, but we know that if we go to South, we got Kate Stark because we know Kate goes to South. And I don't know if we'll get anybody from Giant Bomb to go to South again. They seem to like it, but I can't count on any of them. But also, you know who fucking goes to PAX South? Austin Creed goes to PAX South, a.k.a. Xavier Woods. And so eventually we want to book him for, as long as he's not performing somewhere and he can get the time off, which usually he can, it seems like. I want to do a show with him. He's done video for us. He was supposed to be at a PAX East, and then he got booked in a European tour and had to back out. So someday we'll have him. But yeah, I mean, one of the reasons why I'm doing Philly is because I can take the train. My train is an hour and a half. I got a ticket really early and it cost me nothing to go. That's why I started going to PAX East, because it was cheap for me to go before, even before I started doing panels. It was cheap, and I could see my friend Chris. Giant Bomb went the first year to South and had a good time, and that was it. And only some of them went. And, I mean, to the point where, two of them flew out. I think Drew and Alex were only there for like 2 days. It was still really fun to hang out with them. But yeah, I mean, yeah. I will say this. There's some people that really like Giant Bomb and they really like the Giant Bomb folks. If you like those folks, support League of Heels, because no one has ever said this out loud. But the reason why a lot of people you like go there is, one, to see you. To make appearances to see you. But two, it's to see their friends. And League of Heels is a good excuse for some people to go to PAX, to perform it, because they know that they will be able to do a fun panel that they like. So, I'm not saying we're going to stop anytime soon, but I am saying when we do stop, some people might have one less good reason to go to PAX. That's what I'm saying. Not the only reason, but one of them. Yeah, it's not a threat. It's just letting you know what the deal is. All right, so we did one of our tops. We're going to do another top. We'll put it all together. I'd love to go back to South. And then someday we will. We'll bring League of Heels back there. We'll do a second show. When we do Unplugged, we will have done every PAX, which feels like a big deal. And Chris Straub will have done every U.S. PAX, because Chris was in Chris was at PAX South. And I'll say this. Here's a tease. I haven't teased this for anybody at all. Fix the our fourth game designer, who I haven't announced yet. When I announce them, they'll also have done every single PAX League of Heels show in the U.S. And that narrows it down to one of 7 people that is not Chris Straub. So you can probably figure out who it is. But I'm not going to announce that for another week, because they just confirmed with me today. So that's late breaking. They confirmed like half an hour before I started streaming. So I'd already shot my video that's going up tomorrow, so I didn't include them. I will next week. And I got a cool co-host who has never done commentary with us before. I realized, We had Samantha Kalman do commentary with us at PAX West, which was really fun. But we don't have any of our normal commentary people, so I'm going to be behind the desk this time doing commentary, which should be interesting. Who knows how that's going to go, but I think I'll be okay. And I got a new co-host. Should be good. They'll bring something really fun to the table, I believe. Anime. We haven't talked about anime. I'm just going to talk about wrestling belts and techniques. You know, it's kind of fun to have something new to talk about because I've said so much about the other stuff that we've worked on here. It's kind of nice to have a new thing to chat about. So let's talk about anime. First and foremost, I'm sorry I recommended As Miss Beelzebub Likes. So, As Miss Beelzebub Likes is a fun idea. It doesn't use its premise too well. Beelzebub, who works, for hell, is actually a sweet, lovely lady who likes cute things. I watched the first 3 episodes and I thought, okay, I can recommend this. There's some fun to this. The 4th episode introduces, because they're still introducing a bunch of characters in the show, the minor supporting cast. They introduce a woman who seems kind of like mean, and you realize, well, she doesn't like men, so she's being mean. But in reality, she does like males. She just likes young men. But, as she says, she would never hurt or do anything to young men. She likes them too much to ever do anything bad to them. And then she gets very mad that someone thinks that that's weird. And hey, fuck that shit. Fuck. I don't care if this character, I hope that character, I never see her again. So, hey, that happens in the fucking show. That fucking sucks. Fucking real creepy. Real creepy part of the show. Ugh. Yeah. So, our main dude is like, that's fucking weird. You're fucking weird. So I appreciate that he was like, no. What? No. Stop. What? No. So I appreciate that he was not into and not happy about it, but it was still really weird. I was not thrilled with that part of As Miss Beelzebub Likes. Or likes it. Whatever it's called. What was good was the latest episode of the last 2, all of the episodes of Skullface Bookseller Honda-san. Skullface Bookseller Honda-san is really good. It makes me glad that I don't work in retail anymore, although I guess I technically do, since I do sell merchandise for League of Heels. But it makes me glad that that's not my day job that I do every day or every week. And glad it's a thing I do 3 times a year. Because, man, retail sucks. More power to you if you do it. And also sorry. But yeah, I mean, it's just a Japanese bookstore. It's the manga section of a Japanese bookstore in Japan. And another episode where they had people speaking broken English. There was a Brazilian man trying to buy comics. And Honda-san doesn't speak Portuguese, but they both communicated in bad English. And it was funny. It's a funny episode, funny show. There was a thing about, literally, like, I don't know what the exact translation was, but it was to the effect of, you don't do the Twitter thing, do you? You don't do the Twitter. They kept saying Twitter thing, and that was because there was a signing, and they were freaked out that he was going to tweet about it, and then there'd be a lot of fans calling about it and asking, like, I can't make it to the signing. Do you have books for me? Yeah, they're definitely sales goals. They're definitely a lot of like a thing that, like, I know retail, but I never had to deal with, because it wasn't part of my job when I worked retail. I never had to work with sales reps. So there's a lot about sales reps, like, calling and being like, Hey, could you put our book out on special? Can you put these tabs in? Oh, did we not send you enough of this one popular book? Well, you should put out this other book that's not as popular. What if you put that out? Oh yeah, we don't have any more copies of that thing that you wanted. Stuff like that. I've never had to deal with sales reps. So, but yeah, it's a good show and it's funny and weird. It's fucking weird. I like it a lot. And they like each other. Like Honda-san has to make a tough phone call, and when he gets off the phone, the other people, his coworkers, are like, "You did great. Oh, good job. Okay." So I love that. I love a team effort. I think a team effort rules. Always a big fan of that. Speaking of team, that time I got reincarnated as a slime. This episode, we finally got introduced to the Summons, the girl that we saw in the very first episode before the show really kicked off. The girl that was alive during World War II. They got summoned to this fantasy realm, who has lived a hard life. She's some sort of demon person. She's like a demon inside of her. So she's like a human with a demon inside of her. And she immediately recognized that our slime friend is also from Japan, and it was cool. It was a cool episode. It's also showing. It also we got reunited with the human adventurers who were in like the second or third episode very briefly that didn't sense our slime friend and how powerful he is, or it is. So yeah, overall, pretty cool episode. We're building. I think this next episode is probably going to be about our girl. People have been waiting. You watch the opening cinematic, you're watching the closing cinematic. You see that the slime can transform into a lady or a female form because it has mimic, and so it can become a thing that absorbs. So it means at some point our slime absorbs human. So people have been waiting for that. I've been waiting for, in the videos at the top and the bottom, there is an ogre or an orc or something that is wearing a business suit, like as a female orc or ogre or something, wearing a business suit. And I want to know about business suit orc. What's up with that lady? She's like an executive assistant for the slime. What's up? When do we meet the ogres or orcs or whatever they are? Or oni, whatever they are. Reminds me, do you know there is a manga called That Time I Got Reincarnated as Yamcha? Did not know that, Lashbrook. That sounds very silly. But no, I did not see that. That Time I Got Reincarnated as Slime gets referenced in, not fully referenced, but you know that's what they're talking about in Honda-san. So that was pretty fun. As a fan of that series, it was fun to see the shout out and there, the reference. Yeah, I mean, honestly, would I like to be good at baseball? Sure. That's the only reason I would want to be, in any way, shape, or form, Yamcha. I would not mind being pretty good at baseball. All right, so it's time to glue our belt parts to our belt. This is the top here. And we've got here, so we're going to decide which one is the better face. This is our face. This is what the whole thing is going to look like. So it's either this piece or this piece. This piece. No, wait, there's a dot on there. This piece. This is the top. This is our top. This is our tippy top. This is the belt. Look at that belt. That belt is thick. That's a thick belt. All right. You could fly. Yes, you could fly straight to heaven, the Hollow says before I could say it. Yeah, you could fly into a blast from anyone. All right, so this is going to be our belt. We are waiting for our glue to heat up right now. I just turned it back on. our hot glue. I'm going to try to find the... So basically we're going to attach these two things. Then we're going to grab some cardboard and we're going to write on that cardboard. We're going to cut out some placards for King of Cardboard. Now, we're going to do that just for effect. And in fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to I'm going to print out the words later. And those will go over the placard parts that we're building here. Because I'm going to do that later. I don't want to do that now. But that's the next step after that. After this is doing the placard. So let's glue the top. All right, let's glue this to the top. Oops, gotta. And as I said, we're gonna do, whoops, I forgot to start on this side. I fucked up. All right, great. And then glue to the top. Glue it to the top. Put some pressure on it. Yeah, I mean, people are always going to wish. The thing is that right now, I think you need to go, because I think he's gotten wished back by the Namekian Dragon Balls. So you need the Super Dragon Balls from Dragon Ball Super, like the Galaxy ones. You need those to wish Yamcha back if he got murdered again. He is still alive. In Super, he was like, "Hey, maybe I should fight in the tournament," and people were like, "No, buddy, no, you can't fight in the tournament, man. No, that's not gonna work. You're not gonna be able to do that, buddy. Sorry, love you, but no. Tien probably shouldn't be doing it anyway, but definitely not you, man." Have I said? I don't know if I've said my biggest complaint with, because I only have a couple complaints when it comes to Dragon Ball Super, because I love all the Great Saiyaman stuff. I think it's rad. I like a lot of that stuff. I like a lot of it. They rewrote the ending of Z and changed around a lot of stuff, and kind of retconned some things with Z, including Oob. I just love the idea of a reincarnated Boo inside of this kid. And also, would have been nice to have a character like Oob there. Would have been cool. The idea of Goku going off to just train this kid. Goku basically went to train Oob so that eventually Oob would be strong enough for Goku to fight him and lose to him. So it sucks. The baseball filler episode of Super is great. The Wolfang Fist is a few decades too old now. He basically did the equivalent of waiting by the phone for it to ring, and it never did. Yeah, oh, you're right. He did think about doing it. He wanted to do it, and they were like, we're not getting Yamcha for this. All right, this is going to be the top of our belt. Got to put this on nice and easy, because this is a fucking tippy top of our belty belt. All right, so that's where it's going to go. I'm going to do a lot of glue on this one. A lot of glue here. A lot of glue on the edge. A lot of glue. A lot of glue. A lot of glue. I need more glue. I'm glad this came with 30 glue sticks because these don't last that long. This is going to be stick number 3, so let's get at it. Put some glue here. Lots of glue, lots of glue, lots of glue. Lots of glue, lots of glue, lots of glue. Lots of glue, lots of glue, lots of glue. Lots of glue, lots of glue, lots of glue. Lots of glue, lots of glue, lots of glue. Lots of glue, lots of glue, lots of glue. Lots of glue, lots of glue, lots of glue. Lots of glue, lots of glue, lots of glue. Lots of glue, lots of glue, lots of glue. Lots of glue, lots of glue, lots of glue. Lots of glue, lots of glue, lots of glue. Lots of glue, lots of glue, lots of glue. Lots of glue, lots of glue, lots of glue. Lots of glue, lots of glue, lots of glue. Lots of glue, lots of glue, lots of glue. Lots of glue, lots of glue, lots of glue. Lots of glue, lots of glue, lots of glue. Lots of glue, lots of glue, lots of glue. Lots of glue, lots of glue, lots of glue. Lots of glue, lots of glue, lots of glue. Lots of glue, lots of glue, lots of glue. Lots of glue, lots of glue, And then I will stop saying that because I'm sick of it and I'm the one saying it. And then let's put on our top. Okay. I used to think I was so cool using a glue gun as a kid. Oob got more of a father figure from Goku than Gohan did. Well, look, that's because Goku wasn't dead. Goten got the worst of it. Because Gohan got like an education and then he got raised hard and it sucked. But Goten just had a very sad Chi-Chi. Like the thing that they haven't really talked about, like uh, uh, on All Systems Goku, is the reason why Chi-Chi is just like trained Goten to be a fighter. And while she's training, is because she was just like lonely and just beating up her second son. Just needed that release, and it's fucked. All right, so there's a bit of a bend here. Not as much of a bend as there's that bend. Okay, that's what I wanted. Great. So we've got some bend to it. It bends a little bit. I could have scored the other one. I didn't. But yeah, this is our belt. That's there. That's our belt. Oops. This came off, so I got to re-glue there. I'm going to re-glue this piece here. We are going to tape around all the edges, and that'll keep it secure. But I did want to glue it for stability, kind of keep it together a little bit. Doesn't anything about Goku get the kid Boo reborn? You should train him. I don't remember that robot crank. That might be there. That might be the nod they gave, but not including him, because obviously that's how Dragon Ball Z ends, basically, other than the weird future special with Goku Jr. and Vegeta Jr. Nonsense. That part of the weirdness. All right, so let's see if we do. I'm still not sure how I'm doing this taping thing. I think I'm doing like this. I'm going to just tape over it and then down. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I like that. We'll do that. And then I'll, of course, tape that side there. This is a lot easier than going over it and really trimming it. Instead, we'll just use the tape. That's my pro tip. Was Pan in Super? Yes. So Pan gets born in Super. So basically, it's the events that, the end of Dragon Ball Z, like the last little chunk of Dragon Ball Z, where we have a tournament and Pan's competing in it and all that, doesn't happen in Super because Pan gets born during the beginning events of Super. Beginning-ish events of Super. So we don't see any of that tournament. Which is a shame because it's a good tournament. It's a fun little tournament. Alright, so we'll do that. We'll pull it over like this. And just rip this tape off like that. And rip some tape off here. But yeah. Pan gets born. We get to see her thing. Super also features Vegeta and Bulma's second child getting born, which is nice and fun. It's not great, but it's not bad of the show. It's nice to have Android 17. Android 17 is there, and that's nice. That's fun. I like that. There's also an incredibly fucked up thing in the yes, Pan goes Super Saiyan in the womb basically. Um, Pan in the womb saves the day because they need a certain amount of Saiyans for a thing, uh, and they don't have enough because they thought the one in the center of the circle counted as a Saiyan, and then that's how we revealed that 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 Videl is pregnant. Is she's like they're like we got one more Saiyan, or at least some Saiyan right here. I think it was the GB's Playdate where Dan was outside of one actually was watching or playing something. We never think of the story afterward. So the effect that you're exactly like that. Yeah, I know what you mean. Um, all right, yeah. So we're just putting some tape around the edges here. This is pretty thick, I gotta say. I'm liking how thick and substantial this is. The scoring stuff we did really doesn't mean anything because I didn't really score this part, so it doesn't really have a bend to it, but I kind of don't give a shit because I do think it's just cool to hold. I could always score it now, I guess. Yeah, I could just do that now. Just do that. Yeah, that'll help some. I'll cover it in tape, and then it kind of gives it a bit of a. It gives it a little flexibility if I do that, and I'll just put a piece of tape down. Yeah, I like that. I'll wait till I cover the whole thing and then put some tape down over it. Or should I? Yeah. Uh, kind of crap in a way because it feels like things resonate with people more. Yeah, I mean, there's some people that so the thing that you should think about that is this way. Some people really like the story resonates with them more than others. Like Dan is somebody that doesn't really care about story. Um, most of the time he does like some things, but most of the time when he's playing a game, he cares about the experience of the game, not like the lessons they're teaching or character development or anything like that. Some people really get off on that. They love that. That's the reason they're playing games is for those things. But other people are there because it's an interactive medium. They're there to do the thing and be the thing. Um, they're not looking for a great story or they don't care about the story. They're there for the playing. That's important to them. That's just different. It's just different philosophies, just different ways of looking at it. Not necessarily right or wrong. You know, writers would love it if you cared about the story they wrote, and game devs, like designers, want you to play the systems they've designed, and everybody wants you to like the thing they made. But if you don't, you don't. If it doesn't resonate with you, if it doesn't appeal to you, that's okay. That's fine. Not everybody can like everything. It's hard sometimes. You want to like the things. There's certainly been games that people have made by people, that are made by people I really respect that I just, didn't appeal to me, or wasn't what I was into, and you're like, oh, that sucks. I wish I liked this thing you worked hard on because I like you, but, oh. I like Mikey Newman a lot. Mikey Newman worked on a bunch of games, and I only liked Borderlands 1. Did not like Borderlands 2 or Borderlands the other one, whatever that one was, the pre-sequel. I didn't really like that one. I forget if you worked on that, but I know you worked on 1 and 2. And I don't really like 2, but I really like Mikey, and I like a lot of other stuff he's worked on. All right, so we did that. We did that. Might touch that up. That's fine on the back side. More care about the front. Just got to do the top here. I think Dan would have been good at programming if he was motivated. Seems like he cares more about mechanics, logic of things. Yeah, I mean, if that was something he was interested in, I'm sure he would have done fine with it. You just would have had to be interested, and then also probably would have had to have been in an environment where people didn't tell him that's stupid, which I don't think he would have necessarily been in an environment that would have encouraged him to work towards being a programmer. Although I don't know who in his family was like, yeah, be a film major. I can't imagine anyone in his family thought he was actually going to go into, like, maybe film criticism, but certainly not making films. I wonder if anybody thought he was going to do that. I don't know. I don't want to speculate on family. That's weird. It's probably weird to think about, so, or to talk about like that. All right, so we're just putting some tape on our belt. Getting our tape on here. Making a belt. Instead of really shaving this down, which would have been kind of tough here and there. Would have been doable, but we're just going to put some tape on it. See Dan directing an Ernest movie. Okay. I guess. All right, and then let's do this. Pull that string. Thread. There. Great. That's our belt, and then we're just going to do a piece of tape on here. Then a piece of tape on here, so that we get a little flexibility if we want it. So we can bend it back if we want to bend it back some. It's got a little flexibility to it, which is good, but I don't want it to be too much. And now we're going to work on our placards, which we're going to make out of this cardboard here. Oh, I can turn off my hot glue gun. I don't need my hot glue gun to be on. I should have turned it off earlier. I will need it again, but not for a little bit. So we're going to put this aside, and we'll spend the next 20 minutes or so building this. Let me see if there was any anime that I didn't get a chance to talk about that I wanted to. SSSS Gridman. For this point on, I will only call Gridman because that's too many. It's just fucking so annoying. Fucking anime. Gridman. Gridman seems real good. I'm really into it. I like it. I keep waiting for. I've only watched 3 episodes, but I keep waiting for it to be a gut punch. It has not been a gut punch yet. So I'm waiting for the gut punch, which has not come. I'm sure there's a gut punch. Don't tell me if there's a gut punch or not. I know there is, but I have not witnessed it yet. So I'm just using this box to get a nice rectangular shape. This rectangular shape is going to be our, I was just using it as a guide. This nice rectangle is going to be our badge here, which will be our our placard, whichever you want to call it. It doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, it won't be. But we'll also cover this in tape, basically so that it fits with the design. The gut punch is they start doing Beast Wars references instead. Ah, yes. Super Home Samurai Cyber Squad Gridman. Yes. Yeah, I really like it so far. It's like fun combining stuff. The music is good. I really enjoy the term junk. It is used throughout the show, and I'm really a fan of calling that system junk. Just fun. Yeah, I'm into it. I knew I would be. I just didn't have time because I was trying other series. But yeah, I'll get caught up. I'm not caught up yet. I think I have 2 more episodes to watch to be caught up. But yeah, I'm liking it so far. It's fun. The Hollow, I don't know if Beast Wars was popular. I do know that people who didn't really know a lot about Transformers watched it. The novelty of it was pretty big. I watched it one because I was a lifelong Transformers fan because I was born in 1980, so I grew up loving the Transformers and like the second run they did of it of the original where they like redid it with some more effects with like the that weird like pulsating thing that came in and out that switched the logo back and forth when they put them out. Uh, I was very into that show. So I was definitely predisposed to like Transformers. And then also it was the team that made Reboot, or not necessarily the team, but the technology that made Reboot. So uh, the Beast Wars was definitely interesting to me. Yes, yes. So back in the day when before Netflix started making their own versions, or people started making their own like Netflix versions, like home DVD box, like where the DVDs you got from Netflix were the same as the ones you would get in the store. I coveted and was thrilled to get all the reboot DVDs for all the bonus feature stuff because that bonus feature stuff is incredible. All the hockey jerseys and like all the technology, like that stuff for that first, like that bonus material is incredible. I'm sure it's all on YouTube, but at the time it was awesome to get that. Anecdotally for me, at least no, it was all about Reboot. I mean, Reboot was the shit. Beast Wars had a kind of the vibe of this ain't your daddy's Transformers, which I like Transformers, but it was still a cool show. All right, so this is one of our placards. I'm gonna cover the edge in tape. Nice and easy, just nice and easy and breezy and tape. Just putting tape on a thing. Just kind of the border of it, but also cleans it up a little bit. And it makes it kind of look like, it makes it a little more uniform, right? Fixes any inconsistencies, make it look like one thing. But yeah, it's funny because Toronto has a bunch of game design schools, and the commercials had CG on par with Reboot. And all I thought was, I guess we peaked at Reboot. Good job, Canada. I mean, if that was your peak, I would say good job, Canada. I love Reboot. Such a great show. I think the last season, which didn't in the U.S. didn't air everywhere, that I ended up watching later when Cartoon Network picked it up. I think it suffers. I don't think it's as good, but it's still a great show. Oops. All right. Just gonna kind of. Pardon me. Sorry about that. Great. So this is our frame here. Now, I am, like I said, I am most likely going to get some sort of something to write on this that will say king, queen, whatever, but I am going to write this. Did you watch Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad in the mid 90s, Pat? I don't. Oh, yes, Shout Factory. Hey, Shout Factory has a Twitch stream. You should check out Shout Factory. They just run shit. They run Mystery Science 3000, a lot of the original stuff. They have lots of old television. They write a lot of the shows like the Power Rangers stuff, that the Japanese versions of the Power Rangers stuff, the originals, the Saiyan shows. They run a lot of stuff. Shout Factory, it was basically like like they originally started by like doing DVDs of classic shows, like re-releases, laser discs of that stuff, and even in earlier. Um, and they have a lot of old licenses. So Robot Crank, I watched it because when VR Troopers and Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad came out, I did watch all of those because I liked Power Rangers, so I watched all of them. If I remember correctly, the middle brother, Joey Lawrence's younger brother, was on that show, and then also the younger brother uh, of a minor character in Parker Lewis Can't Lose. One of Parker Lewis's friends, his younger brother was also in that show. So it was like the younger brothers of actors that I knew were in that. The middle Lawrence brother was on that show. So there were a few celebs. Uh, so like I said, I am going to probably put cut out a cutout banner thing here. Right now, I'm just going to do this as kind of like an idea. And then, let's see, I've got this stuff here. Got some, basically, each of these king, queen, and champion is going to have one of these on it, this version of the Velcro, and then I'll attach one of these to the actual belt where I want it, and then I'll be able to put on whatever I want there. Tim Curry was a voice in it? I didn't know that, Robot Crank. Oh, I love that even more. I do remember that what happened in the internet, or online, whatever they called it, affected the real world. So when these viruses hacked the Greenwich Mean Time clock, it froze time in the world. That was a plot point. The time was fucking frozen. Really stupid. I really, really liked it. Really liked that show. Alright, so basically it'll say King of Cardboard. And that's the placard that'll go on. And so then I just need to decide where I want it, which will probably be about there. And then this has already been used before, so I'm going to have to adhere it to this because it won't stay. So I will, let's see, glue it. A little bit of glue left. A little bit of glue in there because it's off but still hot. Which is fine. I don't know, next time I'm going to use it, so whatever. Get its glue's worth. And I just got some glue on my finger, but it was on my fingernail. So I'm not worried about that. But of course, the last time I used the glue, and it got on me. So basically, here it is. Like, here's what this will look like. It'll just be on there, and whatever I want can attach to it. In this instance, it says King. But I can put on whatever I want there. Which is pretty cool. So we'll keep working until 11 here. I'm going to do Queen and Champion. Yeah, we'll put that on there. And then the other ones will just be attached. But yeah, we'll be able to Velcro it on and off. And I'm going to take this excess glue off there, let this part dry. Yeah, that worked out pretty well. Alright, so then we need another one of these. Yeah, I don't know if any of these shows hold up, or if they ever were good. If I remember correctly, VR Troopers was not good to begin with, so I don't think it holds up. I did like that it was a trio, a la Big Bad Beetleborgs. You know, you only need 3 of them. So I like that. But, yeah, I don't think VR Troopers was good. I also don't think that Samurai Cyber Squad was good either. And probably Power Rangers isn't good either. Well, you know, it's probably fair to say none of them are actually good. All of them are just okay. I enjoyed VR Troopers. Yeah, I mean, at the time, I liked all of them. I liked all those shows at the time. I don't know if any of them hold up. You know? I think classic G.I. Joe, the animation budget, I mean, like, it's bad. Animation-wise, it doesn't hold up. But I think content-wise, G.I. Joe still fucking rips. There's still some single storyline episodes that are great. I think it's still an awesome show. I'll stand by G.I. Joe. So, yeah, it's a good show. Alright. Cut this out. I have a lot of scuffs on this table. I'm going to have to really clean it for Saturday. Because Saturday we're going to work on a kit. I'm going to look it up to see when you were 10 it's all great. Yeah, I mean, yes, when you don't have refined tastes. All right, I'm looking up what I'm going to build next. I don't know what I'm building on. The polls are still open, so we do have till Saturday. But most likely, I am going to be building the Thunderbolt Zaku 2 from Gundam Thunderbolt. I'll say it once on the stream today. I'll say it once when I start doing it on Saturday. That kit is known as the Psycho Zaku. I am not going to be calling it the Psycho Zaku, because I don't like calling it a Psycho. I don't like that. I'd prefer not to call it that. So we will be calling it the Gundam Thunderbolt Zaku 2, or the Zaku 2. I know it's its name, but it's my channel, and I get to say what I want. And I say that I don't like that phrase, or that term, that bastardization of a proper term. So yeah, look, it's a huge, wonderful kit. Irbina, Ian bought it. It's Irbina from the chat. I'm thrilled that it was purchased, but I am not interested in calling it that name, so we won't. All right, so now we're gonna put some Velcro on here, and then we're just gonna cover it in tape. We might go a little over because I want to finish these 3 placards. I'll do the of cardboard because I'm gonna do, like I said, I'm probably gonna it's not gonna be in Sharpie. But I did want to finish this idea because this will be the end of our build here. Will be this, so I did want to finish it up. Because any fine tuning I'll do, I'll probably display when it's done. But I wanted to get it to that point here on stream. Yes, I do know that. Lashbrook, that it is similar to the Zero system, that it is in reference to that. I am very well aware of why it is called that. I just don't like that term, and I'm choosing not to use it. That's not a judgment on other folks. That's just my feeling on the matter. It just could have been called the X system or the Zero system or anything. And it isn't, and that's fine. That's the choice they made. I don't like it, so I'm not going to say it. All right. Queen. 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 King. Queen. I gotta make champion. One more. Got one more to make. Gotta make the champion. What's better cardboard? This is the better cardboard. One more box for champion. They could have called it the SciComm system, which requires the pilot to have all their... That Zaku is actually super messed up, but then it actually directly uses the nerve impulses, which requires the pilot to have all their limbs amputated. Buh! Yeah, that's fucked up. That's really fucked up. Really, that's not cool. Fuck. That fucking sucks. Come on, just be a cool Zaku. Shit. That really sucks. Sorry, Zaku 2 pilot. There's some extra requirements for you to be able to use that thing. Ugh. Awful. Yeah, I don't know what year Thunderbolt is. I'm not super familiar with it. But I put that on my Amazon wishlist because it looked nonsensical and cool. And then Ian purchased it. I still don't know who bought the other kit that I could have been building. The Iron-Blooded Orphans Grimgard. I don't know who purchased that. Thank you, anonymous person. Like I said, I don't know. Somebody bought it. I just don't know who. All right. It does look cool, though. I mean, yeah, it's a cool-looking kit. Don't get me wrong, and it's fantasy, so fuck it. Looks cool. All right, so we're gonna go a little long because I'm just gonna finish this and then put champion on it. Might go a little over. Hey, folks that are still sticking around, if you're around tomorrow afternoon at about 3 p.m. Eastern, I'm just gonna play some Hearthstone on stream from like 3. I haven't announced yet. I'll probably announce it tomorrow. Like, hey, in a couple hours I'm gonna do it. But I'm gonna play like an hour and a half, just cause I like Hearthstone right now. I'm back into it, and I have a deck that's really silly and fun. I talked about it on stream, but it is the Tespionage deck. It is a deck that uses Espionage, which is a really fun, stupid card, and Tess, which is also a dumb card, and it uses those two cards together in a really fun, weird way, and I really like that deck, so I decided I was gonna play a little bit of Hearthstone tomorrow, because I'm around, so why not? So I'll do that tomorrow. Vinny should do a video series where he plays mech games and compares everything to Transformers. I mean, that is the thing, that's the show he likes, so he does often compare things to Transformers. I didn't play her game. Abby tried to bait me about and also annoy Vinny by bringing up Transformers when we were talking about Gundam, and I almost mansplained to her the difference between the two. I did say they're different things, but I didn't get too into it. I almost took the bait. I was fairly proud of myself for not falling for it. I don't expect her to know differences, but she does know there's a difference. And I almost almost took the bait. Hell yeah, I went like 10-0 today on ladder deck. Yeah, in the lower ranks, Asmo, it is a very fun deck, because, and also like there are just the thing about that deck is that there are win conditions you don't know about, and sometimes the worst thing you can do is play Tess, but if you get that very rare, then that 10 cards, if you get a Death Knight, and then when you play Tess, you just play all your rogue cards again. Oh boy, that's some real dumb. It's real dumb in ways that I love. Oh, that's a dumb deck. Very fun, dumb deck. All right, so I'm gonna put this Velcro in there. But yeah, it's a very silly deck that I like a lot. I'm gonna cough. Sorry, pardon me. All right. So I'm going to write champion on this. I didn't like how that looks, so we'll take this off. So obviously, we won't use this one. Have to redo it. Sucks. Should not have adhered this until I wrote because I fucked up champ. So this thing is worthless. Throw it on the floor. Hearthstone ain't good if you don't spend any money. The Hollow, it takes a long time for it to be good. Basically, you have to play it every day. You have to play the Tavern Brawl a lot because you're looking to get free cards. You're looking to get free decks wherever possible. It's not the easiest thing. All right, I'm just going to call this a placeholder, and I'll put on some tape to adhere to this. I'm going to call this a placeholder, and then there'll be a printed thing on these eventually anyway. Because I'm done. So one turn I dropped 2 Elks and Espina. Yes. My opponent quit next turn. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You can get a concede pretty easily because some people just don't want to deal with it. All right, that's going to do it. This was a fun 2-day build. This is our belt. It will most likely, I'm going to write, like I said, I'm going to have paper that's going to go over this, that's going to, look more professional. This is just placeholder stuff. And then probably going to have to glue this on. Let's see, do I have any glue left? Nope, no glue left. Okay. Turned it off, so no glue left. Yeah. So this is just a placeholder for it. It'll be printed out. But yeah, that's our first original build. I'm going to write that on there. And then I'm going to write, what's today's date? It's the 8th. So I'll write 11/8/2018. Because I made it. Yeah, so that's our wrestling belt. A little bit of give to it, a little bit of bend, nice and weirdly thick. Yeah. Thank you very much for tuning in and watching it. This build. Thank you very much, Asmo. Appreciate that. Yeah, it was a fun stream. I will be back on Saturday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time with my next build. We will be working on the Thunderbolt Zaku 2. And then I will be, again, tomorrow I'm just going to hang out. Thank you, The Hollow, for being here. Like I said, tomorrow I'm just going to play some Hearthstone in the afternoon. You're more than welcome to come hang out. I just want to do it. So why not? I want to talk about it, so I might as well talk about it on stream. And then I'll be back on Saturday with a normal stream. Thank you very much for being here. Have a great evening. Goodbye.